we're going to be making the table legs out of 2x4s, 4 of them. The first thing I did was cut my posts to 29 inches, which is tall, but I wanted a tall table. You'll see why at the end of the video. The next thing I did was cut the supports, the upper and lower supports for the table. They were 28 inches. Next, I set my saw to 45 degrees. That's to cut the upper support on an angle so I didn't have an edge underneath the table. Next, I cut the feet. The feet I wound up cutting on a 45-degree angle too, so that they didn't have a lower edge either. You'll see at the end when I cut them. Next, I was cutting the side supports, which were 12 inches long, both edges cut on a 45-degree angle. Alright, here we have our 29-inch posts, 28-inch angled top supports, 28-inch bottoms, 8 12-inch supports, and our 4 4 3/4 angled feet. Now all we have to do is put them together. Here I'm measuring for the center of the supports so that I can center them on the posts. I'm gluing all the boards together. Now I'm using finish nails just to hold the boards together until the glue dries. The glue is a lot stronger than the nails will ever be. Here I drill some pilot screws for the screws to hold the supports to the posts. At this point, how many of you guys realize that I screwed that top post on upside down? I'm going to have to remove it later in the video, but if you notice, the way the top will lay, it'll have the exact edge I was trying to avoid. This is the exact moment that I realized I was an idiot. Pretty funny, but it was a quick fix. Luckily the glue wasn't dried yet, so I just had to beat it apart and flip it over, clean it up. Here's where you can tell why I cut the feet on a 45-degree angle. That way if you're sliding across the bottom of the table legs, your toes will get a warning before you just smack the edge of the table leg. Here they are all put together. Now all I gotta do is sand them down and paint them. I used a belt sander to knock down all the big heavy edges and any big bumps, or they are just 2x4s, so any big grain or anything like that. I used a little vibration sander with a finer grit sandpaper just to smooth out the edges, knock down any rough grain from the heavy grit of the belt sander. Now, because they're 2x4s, they're not cut perfectly square. They have a rounded edge. I didn't want to see a deep groove or a deep edge anywhere, so I used painter's caulk to fill in every joint so I could smooth it out, and it would give it a more smoother look, not like a rough 2x4 look. Everybody that knows me is probably thinking, oh, gray again, it's either gray or green. Well, I bought way too much paint and it was expensive and I couldn't return it, so I figure I'm not going to waste it and I'm going to use as much of it as I possibly can. This is my finished desk. First thing you might notice is that it's tall, but I don't like it when my knees bang the bottom of the desk when I roll under it with my chair or anything like that. So I did not want the arms of the chair hitting the desk or my knees. So the bottom of this table sits at about 32 inches, which is really tall, but that's a good thing about making a custom table. You can make it any height you want. The only regret that I have is that instead of doing single pieces for the stripes, I wish I would have did one solid piece ripping to a point to the other side of the desk. That way it would have been more uniform. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with everything, the way it turned out, and I hope you guys like it too.